Hi, welcome back to Battleship Cove. I'm Tom Lowney, gunner's mate retired here, volunteer. And we're going to be going into space restoration for preserving the fleet. So the fleet, as you know it, preservation is important. You saw earlier how we started working the deck in here and cleaning, scraping, and getting ready to put down paint. So we finally did get the paint done. So painting was done, accomplished by spraying a primer. And then our cold temperatures set in, so we couldn't spray and heat at the same time for this space because the ventilation isn't up to what it should be. And we had to use heaters, so you can't spray with that temperature changes. That's the problem of being in New England here and preserving this fleet. You have to constantly change and adapt to what you have to do and what you have. So in here we painted out after the primer. We painted out the overheads, the bulkheads. We did it in white, which is common for a berthing space. This was originally a berthing space. This here was actually the boat deck on port side, similar to our starboard side. Unfortunately, as she came out, combat changed, lessons were learned. We need more 20 millimeters. So above us is a 20 millimeter battery, and it's called a gallery deck. There were 5 mounts up there. So with that added on, they enclosed the space because you can see there's a porthole here and an armored hatch coming out on deck. Now with that, you'd think you wouldn't be coming into a inside space, but this originally was an outside. So things were not changed and the porthole was remained, because in the other side of that porthole is actually the boat engine machine shop for the boats. And in here it turned into a berthing apartment and you can see where all the clips are. The original berthing racks were here, these clips. And then if you come out, you see little hooks on the overhead where the chains came down. So you had basically 4 bunks stacked up in here. So if you want to look and you're doing a bit of compartment archaeological research for a Navy ship, you have to know what you're looking for. So these brackets, they're in groups of 2. 2, 2, 2. So if you had 4 racks in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there were 6. So 4 racks times 6, 24 bunks in here with lockers. So the lockers took up some of the space. You had just enough space to get through, but we're changing this space into something else. And that's coming up, and we'll be showing you that later on in further episodes. As you can see, the deck, berthing apartments are normally terracotta, but terracotta is a bilge space normally. And this deck originally was deck gray because the boat was in here. You can still see the pads where the boat sat. The center of the boat was right here, and these pads here were to hold up the braces to hold the boat on the keel skid. So there's one here, one there. Keel would have sat right here with these 2 pads, and if you come down, you're bound to find the other marks down here where the end of the keel was, and the crane was back in here. So you had 2 cranes. So this pad here was originally cut out. There used to be the crane that's sat in here. This deck was all part of it. When they converted it, changed it over, enclosed it, berthing apartment, and they had to get the ship back in combat right away, so things are just improvised. So we painted out the whole space. We got it set to go. The table's not original. That's going to be a workbench. So we'll leave that be for now. And as things come along, we'll keep you updated. But almost the final touch, we're going to do some new lighting in here and go from there. We'll talk to you next time on Preserving the Fleet. Thank you for your time. I'm retired gunner's mate Tom Lowney. Back at you. Remember, like, share,